Hey, what's up? JR Noble here, and I was actually just talking with a couple of my students, and one of them was telling me about how he's been very stuck and frustrated, and every time he sits down to make music, he just kind of gets more and more frustrated because he feels like he's not progressing. He feels like his music's not going anywhere, that he's not making any kind of progress with the music that he's working on. And, he ends up, every time he goes to sit back down and work on music again, he's just putting more and more pressure on himself to do something because he just gets frustrated because he hasn't done anything. He feels like he hasn't made any progress. And so it's this kind of downward spiral of like really getting down on himself and feeling bad about not making any progress. And so he tries harder. He sits down. He's like, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to try and try harder. And then he sits there and gets more frustrated and just doesn't get anywhere. And so he just ends up not finishing anything and just feeling like he is just completely stuck, right? And so if you've been feeling like this, then I'd like to tell you that, this is something that you definitely overcome. All right. And the way that I would tell you to overcome this, and this is exactly my advice to him, was to remove the judgment of trying to make something amazing. And actually, what I really suggested was to just imagine that this song is not even going to see the light of day. Okay, just go ahead and produce something, and just nobody's ever going to hear this, right? So take the pressure off and just finish the damn track. Okay, because really, at the end of the day, it's better to be more observant and curious, right? Because if you're curious about the process, about going through it and just trying things out and seeing what happens, then you remove that pressure, all right? And you'll see a lot more stuff kind of happening, and you'll probably even start seeing some progress happening, okay? And this happened to me too, because I was in that same exact place of putting a lot of pressure on myself, trying to finish things and wondering why I wasn't coming up with the ideas and the sounds that I thought would really fit for my songs. And when I kind of did away with that and just got more curious about the tools I was using, about the process I was going through, about just really anything to do with production and music and all those kind of things, then things started to get a lot more enjoyable and a lot more fun, because it sucks when you're just beating yourself up about making music, and it should be a fun process. All right, so if you're struggling with making music and getting finished with your tracks, take the pressure off, and just really have fun with the process, right? Just you don't have to, remember, nobody's saying you have to put this music out to the world, right? So you can just sit there and make the biggest pile of shit with music. But if you're having fun with the process, that's amazing. That's what you really want, because then you can go back in and you can always clean that stuff up later. You might have those ideas and be able to put those ideas into something else later, right? So take the pressure off and don't get so caught up in it's got to be perfect, it's got to be right, it's got to be this. Because what I found is when you're focusing too hard on making it sound perfect, then it's so far-fetched in your brain that your brain it's like your brain's not ever going to get there, right? You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to achieve this thing, and then your brain wants to shut down, because it's that fight or flights, right? Fight or flight response. And so when our brain feels like there's a lot of stress and a lot of tension, then it kind of stops thinking and stops feeding us those creative ideas. So when you relieve the pressure, then your brain wants to start kind of playing along again. Okay, so be more observant, more curious in when you're making music, and just, like I said, enjoy the process, okay? Because the results will come. Just enjoy the process, make the music, and have a great time. It should be about having a good time when you're doing this, okay? So that's what I want to share with you today, because that's something that one of my students was having some trouble with. And so after that conversation, he's going to go home and work on some of this stuff that I was telling him. So I can't wait to find out how his results went. But also, do me a favor and drop a comment below this and let me know if this helped you out at all too, all right? Because trust me, I've been there with my music for sure. But drop a comment below. Let me know if you found this helpful. Once again, my name is JR Noble. I want to thank you for stopping by and checking out this video, all right? Talk to you again soon.